Hello, friends, fibersmiths, and fellow adventurers, and welcome to the Hodgepodge Tavern. We are back after our month and a bit long hiatus. So thank you very much for joining us. I'm your DM, Carl, and today we are stepping through the portal to the Infinite Planes. Alongside you, we have our players.
I'm Philip. I play Dee the Wizard.
I'm Alex, and I play Sprite, the Fairy Paladin.
I'm Kyle, and I play Spike, the dude who is made of metal.
The Bladling Monk.
Sure.
I'm Josh. I am Link, the Tiefling Bard.
I'm Kim. My pronouns are she, her. My character's pronouns are they, them. And they are I can't remember. Changeling monk. Thank you.
You can tell that it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Wow.
What's D&D?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's pronounced dund.
Now, colours. Let's stumble into the dagger things. Kyle, do you have a summation for us?
Not now.
What
Here's
happened?
one I made earlier. Dun, 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 dun. Last time on Hodgepodge Heroes. Like another great movie, we begin with a titillating and interesting bureaucracy session, because who loves finding out about the bylaws and prison guard codes of conduct in a fictional universe? Thankfully, things progress to the more interesting things, like giving Link some lunch after he's let out of jail, and proceeding to talk to semi-important people for a couple of hours. It was a very slow day, guys. Spike was left to do the menial task of informing the Temple of Mitra that they needed a new head paladin, and Spike, being a generous being, also suggested warning settlements up the road that a demon jellyfish was on the loose. He didn't even ask for payment. Meanwhile, Link, Dee, and Sprite head off to the Temple of Tyr, where they make a flashy spectacle that is not insert all of Link, Sprite's, and Dee's path. Hang on, let me rephrase that. Meanwhile, Link, Dee, and Sprite head off to the Temple of Tyr, where they make a flashy spectacle that is not honest, charitable, hopeful, or moderate.
Yeah.
Afterwards, the team all meet back up and find out the Modrons are coming, the Modrons are coming, the Modrons are coming. Apparently, a little army of these mechanical puzzle boxes have started their own version of a pilgrimage early, by about 200 years. That they have done so just as the parties there is about as coincidental as getting punched by a boxer when you step into their ring. Leaping into their steeds, we have steeds now, because like any good movie, the plot demanded it. The party race towards the Modron host, where they see a huge biomechanical army stomping down everything in its path. Negotiating is fairly fruitless, as is most of the countryside, as the Modrons are driven only by the mysterious will of a non-present commanding officer. They are beings of pure logic and machine-like thinking. Thus, they are the complete and polar opposite of an average adventuring party. Because of this, after some discussion of possible aggressive action that could be taken, but probably wouldn't be a good idea, the team decided to start evacuation plans to get people out of town. Meanwhile, the hapless townspeople actually do something useful and find out that the last time the Modrons were here, they kind of took over and started doing some shit. What exactly that shit was, the townspeople don't know, despite this being a regular occurrence every 1,000 years in a world where fucking elves and other beings live for about that long. Anyway, apparently the team are now emergency response workers alongside being police and investigative detectives. That's where we last left off.
Very nice.
Impressed.
Also, I'm sorry that the fan in the window were on and open. I forgot how to do podcasting.
Also, it's very warm.
It is very hot. It's very hot.
So, we left off where I believe everyone had planned to go separate ways to exact a plan that you have devised. I understand that Spike is going to be sticking around with the Modrons, trying to learn anything that they possibly can. Sprite and Link are going to be travelling to and from either side from the town and from the Modrons, relaying any messages or information. And Braidy and Dee are going to be going to Hut's faith to enact a plan which Philippe has dictated. If you would be so kind as to elaborate us on
So if everyone is in agreement to this
Mhm.
plan, we'll go and talk to the mayor, the current,
The stand-in
Stand-in
deputy
mayor.
The
mayor.
acting there. Yeah.
and hopefully we'll have some sway with them to make them, do the things that we want them to do. And the idea was to write 3 letters that would be signed and stamped with the authority of the mayor, and each of the letters would specify the specific job of each of the different temples or authorities and what they're going to do. So the first one would be the Temple of Tyr, and this would guide them towards grabbing supplies, as in food, medicine, and stuff like that, for the next 5 hours, and then move to a designated location that would be safe from the march
They'll
that
be
is
setting
coming.
up a sort of refugee camp, so to speak.
Basically, yeah. The second one would be for the Temple of Mitra. All the paladins and acolytes would have to go through the residential areas and make sure that everyone would be informed of the peril that was coming, so that the evacuation would start as soon as possible, and make sure that each person would just carry a small satchel in order to move quickly away from this area. And the third and final letter would go to the town guard. All the guards would go through the merchants district and inform everyone on that side of town that impending doom was imminent. And for the next 4 hours or so, they would be allowed to grab as much as possible. And with the assistance of the town guard, they would just vacate the town and go into a safe designated area. And if, they lose some goods, then they lose some goods to make sure that no one gets left behind. And I think that's the plan.
Excellent. Is everyone in agreement with this plan?
Sounds good.
That's a real good plan.
Agreed.
Excellent. So,
I have to write in.
as dictated previously, we have a map of Heart's Faith. I don't know how well you can see this on the screen, but there are a series of blue lines coming from this side, not that side, working their way through Heart's Faith. This is the pre-agreed route that had been dictated by the Modrons when they first struck up this agreement with Heart's Faith. So I will be placing that out for everyone.
Which means essentially they are going to trample the entire city.
For the most
Pretty
part,
much.
there are some
Big
sections which won't be touched.
Just the very outskirts.
very outskirts where the city sort of like expanded over a period of time.
Yeah.
But yes, anything that was erected in the middle of town is essentially flattened. So,
Devastation galore.
Cauldronborn, the acting mayor, once you relay the plan about all of the letters, will agree. I assume that D is writing and just having it verified by Cauldronborn. Not
Yep.
quite trusting him to
No,
write
no,
it
no.
himself.
We would write it ourselves,
Yeah.
Probably quicker that way.
and then make sure that all the stamps and all the all the forms are in order to make sure that the people receiving them would know that this comes from an authority of power.
Excellent. Okay, so as all of these have been written out and ready for distribution, do you have something, Carl?
You look pensive.
Just, we wouldn't happen to have heard of any kind of story from the town as we stayed there that it was anything else other than a town before, right?
As far as you are aware, it's always been a town.
There was nothing, no grand complex beneath it, and it wasn't anything.
Burial ground.
It was like an ancient burial ground, some kind of tomb, some kind of modern complex.
Built
It
on
was
top
built
of a spaceship that we
yeah,
can
Colosseum.
fly away.
There was a pyramid.
Everyone
Yeah.
just go underground, right?
On the roof.
No. As far as you are aware, Heart's Faith has always been this end of the gates to Mount Celestia. It's always been sort of like the entry area for most people to come in. So, whilst the letters are being written up and distributed, Spike, what are your plans with the Modrons? You still have the attention of the Pentadrone.
Yes. I completely forgot what we asked him and what we established last time. Essentially, what I want to do is if I can, learn as much as possible about why they're here, and I think that was not a great way to pursue that last time. My other aim is to try and find out who they are listening to exactly, because I don't remember. And basically try and get an idea of like what could motivate them.
Okay. So
something I can use to shift that motivation a little bit, or like move it towards that direction, following their own logic.
okay. So your understanding of how modrons function, based off of your conversations previously, the modrons work in a very strict hierarchical system. So you have the monodrones, and the monodrones only communicate with the duodrones. The duodrones communicate with the monodrones and the tridrones, and it basically works its way up the system. No modron communicates 2 stations above or below their rank.
Okay.
Information gets trickled down through verbal. There's no telepathic communication between them all. So orders are associated to the lower level. That lower level then dictates the orders to the lower level, and so on and so forth.
Would I get an impression that orders are simplified or trickled or lose complexity as they go down, or as in like
Due to their abilities to communicate.
that, and also it's like, is someone saying like a complex set of instructions that's in like a list of instructions that's then cut in half by the time it gets to like the bottom.
So, from the way that you've spoken to and communicated, you believe that, yes, when you get to the bottom of the chain, it is pretty basic instructions.
March.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
We march.
Search, march,
Search march.
basically. However, from the pentadrone and higher, and even the quadrons, to the one rank below, everything is pretty communicative. They are relatively intelligent and significantly more sentient, with the ability to communicate and understand their hierarchical chain. So, in terms of working your way to like the lower grunts, yes, it is very basic. From middle management, so to speak, the complexity doesn't seem to have been diluted. It's simply a matter of they have been sent out from their superiors in order to search, but they do not know what it is that they are searching for, only that they will be aware of it if and when they find it.
I don't really know enough about modrons to know what they would find important, like culturally or religiously important.
In terms of religiously, they don't really adhere to any facility of religion. They just see their superiors as who they have to follow their commands from. But the information of that hierarchy, you have found like all of the different layers, and Primus is the one singular entity that everything seems to trickle down through.
Did we ask if we could send a message to Primus and it wasn't possible?
Yes. So the highest ranking that you have here is a decaton, but there are multiple layers above that that aren't here.
Okay. Well, knowing this Spike is just gonna stay within as close as he can to like the decaton, and again try and reason out as much info as can be possible.
The
Although I
decaton will not communicate with you. The pentadron,
Pentagon.
which is the one that you were talking to, will. The decaton does not even associate your existence.
Cool. Okay. That
Very
bodes,
polite.
bodes very well for other people.
Yeah.
I will remain in communication with them, just trying to logic out their purpose, just like, why are you here? And they will respond, and then I'll just inch by inch, question by question, try and determine what could possibly motivate them.
You have a lot of time.
Okay. So the letters have been distributed, and the town is, for the first time, in a state of chaos.
Ooh.
That did it.
Congratulations.
The Temple of Tyr are very methodically going around collecting everything, and the Temple of Mitra is systematically working its way through all of the residential areas. However, the residents themselves, quite a lot of them are panicking. They're scrambling around. The merchants, particularly the non-static ones, so the ones that are, they come, they trade for a while, they move on, etc. They are just grabbing everything and anything that they can, anything of value, the highest priced items. Whilst this is all taking place, what would you like to do? And Sprite would probably be around waiting until something's been relayed, unless you are going to go and tell everyone that the order has been executed.
So we've split up at this point, and we've done
Yeah.
like our
I think we'll probably just plan to meet like
yeah.
every hour or something, whatever the time
I'll
distance
fly
is. that,
over.
like, in the middle.
Yeah.
Check in with
Yeah.
you, and just anyone that I come across who is panicking, just gonna try and get them to breathe
Mm-hmm.
and like breathe with me. It's gonna be fine. We're all gonna be together. We're gonna be safe, and I'm just pass the message on, like, empowering people. Like, it's your job. You've got to help everyone. Okay, you can do it.
Okay.
And trying to spread that. And maybe if I run into a food dog, I'll maybe enlist them to help me as well. Spread calm wherever possible.
Okay. Let's do a. Just do me a charisma check. So it just uses your charisma. It's not a skill. It's just your charisma. Let's see how you're able to project that sense of calm to people.
12 plus the D4, right? Because I'm still.
Yep.
Oh,
And
that's
then
that
attack.
D4.
Yes.
Yes, 15.
Okay. You managed to incite a little bit more calmness into it. People are. They're still frantic and they're still panicked. But you do manage to induce some sort of calm, so it's not quite, push and shove. It's, trying to be a bit more mindful of everything that's going on. And Dee and Brady, what are your plans now that you've enacted this evacuation protocol?
I would really like to make sure that my little brother's okay. But I can send a food dog. If they're willing, but I don't know what else we can do except like walk the streets and try and encourage people.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing. Just walking around.
Helping where we can.
Yeah. Check on the school.
Yep.
Make sure that they've been informed as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could cast Comprehend Languages and just see if anyone perhaps is having an issue communicating. And if they are, I'll try to explain the situation to them. Maybe someone's out of town or someone doesn't.
Okay. Cool. Can you roll me a D6, please?
Shabam. 2.
Okay. So you go to some of the schools and you go to the orphanage that you taught at, and the students that you were teaching and the teacher are a little out of sorts. They don't have anything of their own, really. Small toys that have been given and donated to them. But they're basically trying to get themselves out of the city now. There's a lot of chaos going on, and you notice that the children aren't able quite to keep up with everything that's going on. They're short legs, they're quite small, so they are struggling to force their way through the chaos of the evacuation.
How many have we got?
How many kids?
Yeah.
We have, I believe there was about 12 of them in the class specifically that you were looking at in that one orphanage.
12. Is it because they're small and they're just having a hard time?
Yeah, they're trying to sort of not get trampled on by the other people.
I feel like this is a survival of the fittest kind of deal.
How would you like to try and help them?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or are you going to try and help them?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe using my disc. Mount them on the disc, but it's quite a small disc. So it's not going to really be happy. I mean...
You can take the time. I mean, you'll have the full hour's use of it, so you can tell them to sort of stay in a safe location or something, and you can ferry them.
Yeah, well, what I'll do, I'll try to get a plank of wood that I can rope the disc, like a plank of wood roped into the disc, so that 2 or 3 of them perhaps can sit on it.
Yeah.
Like a seesaw.
Nice.
Yeah, but not so it doesn't move.
No, no.
So it doesn't seesaw.
Yeah, so it doesn't seesaw, and then I'll just take 3 or 4 of them, however many I can.
Yep.
And I'll just shout out of the way, "Go kids!"
Okay.
And I don't know, I'm not adverse to causing some fear, but
You're
I feel like that would be the wrong
You're
way.
like Billy Zane in Titanic, and he just doesn't really care about the kids, but he's like, I have a child, let me
I need to get on that boat.
Children first.
Yeah, exactly. Little
Okay.
shit.
And if people ahead of me aren't paying attention or listening to what I'm saying, I'll cast a message straight into their brain
Tell them to move out.
tell them to get out of the way.
Move, bitch. Get out the way.
Get out of the way. That's it.
Okay. So with a bit of time, you do sort of a ferrying system, and you manage to get the kids out of the chaos and to the designated rendezvous point, which is, I believe, out on the beach outside of the town. Where they've started to, at this point, you can see that certain tents have started to be erected, and the Temple of Tyr is starting to enforce a sort of almost a registration system.
Yeah, triage and all that shit.
Exactly. Brady, what are you doing in and around the town?
I'm gonna take off to the house that I know is mine.
Yep.
Or my parents' house. And I want to see if they're there.
Okay. Roll me a d4. Odds, they've already been evacuated. Evens, they're still there.
Okay. That's a 2. That's
Evens
an
are
even.
still there.
Okay.
So, as you arrive and you knock on the door, Rax comes down and you can see that he has quite a large bag. He's a burgeoning teen, and he has a lot of stuff that he's attached to.
Of course.
And he's got a big bag, and you can see in the background your parents quite casually going around and collecting their supplies. You can see that your father has ensured that he's got all of his scripts of Tyr, his symbol of Tyr. He's sort of making sure that he has everything that he needs in order to continue his worship of Tyr and pray for aid and assistance. Your mother, on the other hand, she is preparing food for the journey. And Rax says, "What are you doing here?"
I just wanted to make sure that you guys were gonna get out okay.
We're packing.
That's good.
How long do we have? Do you think? At this point, it would have rowed back now, started to enforce everything. So we're probably looking at about 7 hours, 6 hours left.
Okay. Y'all really need to get outside the city walls, like in the next 4 hours or so. That's where everyone's meeting.
Okay.
Is there anything I can do to help you? I could act as like a bodyguard. It's kind of crazy out there.
And he sort of pops his head out, and you can see that people are scrambling around. This is something that they've never seen or experienced, and there's sort of like a look of dread on their face. Everything's sort of been very structured and rigid, and to see this taking place is terrifying. Anything that anything, I guess, that would help would be great. You can help pack if you would like.
Sure, absolutely. You just tell me what you need, and I will do it.
Okay. And he'll bring you into the house and direct you to various different things. Load you up with bags.
Good, yeah.
Of stuff.
One small satchel per person, sure.
I'll
Yeah.
send her back.
Yeah.
It's the benefits of being related to one of the heroes.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he's with me. You get extra baggage.
You don't have to pay extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do whatever they want me to do, whatever they'll let me do. And when they're ready to leave, and I'll try and keep an eye on the time so that we can get there in good time. We don't want to be cutting it close.
Yep.
I will walk ahead or to the side to try and make sure that they don't get roughed up too much. And I want to keep a close eye particularly on my mom because I have a feeling that she's like getting old and she can't do the work as well. So I just want to make sure she doesn't fall behind or whatever.
And in the chaos, they do appreciate assistance to try and help keep things structured and functional. So they will accept assistance from you.
Cool. Good. That's great. That is good. They're stubborn, but they're not stupid. Okay.
Okay, and presumably you sort of help them with that, and you eventually work them through and out.
To the camp, yeah. And then as soon as we get to the camp, I'll just be like, good, you're safe.
Okay.
And then I'll go help with whatever needs doing in the camp, helping people put up tents or whatever.
Awesome. Okay. So, as time progresses through, you relay everything that's going on back and forth. Is there anything else that you'd like to try and ask specifically of the Modrons?
What would be a good question?
Or any ideals that you put forth to them?
I want to express my genuine curiosity in. Two questions. If they know what's happening outside of Anchor, and two, just generally very interested in Modrons as a kind of functioning society.
Okay. So what you're able to ascertain is There is a very regimented society from them. They will always obey the commands of their superiors. They are very regimented. Everything is done to the letter, and everything is done in unison.
Would they acknowledge any modrons that stray out of that? Or do they say that's not a thing that happens?
Basically, that's not a thing that happens.
Cool. And I suppose I wouldn't really know them enough to know that if that's like a lie or...
From what you've managed to gather from these things don't lie.
Okay. Okay.
But what you do know
It's good to know.
is that although they say, there's no lacking functionality in sort of their regimented structured system, you do know that rogue modrons are a thing.
Okay.
What you can ascertain from your conversations with them is the moment anything breaks apart from this structured system, it ceases to exist to them.
Ah, okay.
Based on the way that they
Interesting.
talk and relay that information back, as soon as rogue modron goes rogue,
What Modron?
Yeah, it's basically not a
Oh,
Modron
it's like
anymore.
religion. It's very fun.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do they...
You've been shunned.
I don't know how I would feel this. How I would get this kind of impression, but would I get any kind of emotion from that? Do they speak about it in scorn, or is it just a complete unacknowledgement, and I don't get the impression that they then later hunt them down? Or
you don't get the impression that they later hunt them down.
okay,
As soon as they break away, they just cease
They just
to exist. They don't mourn the passing of anyone. Hardly, in fact, none of these modrons have an independent
Like emotion?
personality
Personality.
or
Oh.
anything like that. They exist as they are.
I compliment them under society.
If anything was to happen to a specific individual, you can ascertain that a inferior gets promoted to that role. So if a duodrone dies, a monodrone is immediately upgraded.
Is that a short process, or is it like... So, for example, they get into a fight, massive battlefield, lots of casualties, and then promotions happen. Is it just... And then they go back to a factory, they're refitted, or do they like...
They go back to Mechanus and they get upgraded.
upgraded? Okay.
That's pretty cool.
But 9 times out of 10, it wouldn't be something that like an individual that was with at the place that the tragedy happens. So it would more than likely be a monodrone that in Mechanus gets promoted.
Would I get a sense that they value their bodies?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Hmm.
In the context of they fear death, they fear
In the I guess materially, like, do they...
Resources.
As a resource, do they...
no.
No.
And roll me a persuasion check.
Guess
Let's see if they'll divulge this information to you.
10.
10. They wouldn't divulge this information to you. As far as you're aware, they don't particularly care for their individual body as long as they are serving the greater whole. As long as they are executing their mission, their objective, that's all that matters.
Cool. Well, when it's about like maybe 4 hours out, I'll speed off
And head back
and
towards the
head
town.
back. And the best take I get I will share is that if we persuade the leader, then everything's fine. We just gotta find a way to persuade them.
But they're the
Unpersuadable.
Unpersuadable.
premise is in Mechanus, right?
As in the
oh,
not the leader, but the leader of this group.
right.
Just get that one part, and then everything else will function around it.
But that one is only persuadable by the one above him.
Yeah. I get the feeling they're not very easily charmed.
No.
Well, my skill's useless here.
So you head back, and on your way you'll bump into Link.
You've been looking around here. Is there any way we can cause enough of a blockade that they will have to react to it, even if it only gives us about an hour or 2 hours?
I'm assuming
Some time to sort.
there's no big canyon or something.
Yeah.
There's no big canyon. This is a path that has been designated. There are no natural formations that would prevent.
It's known to be a nice flat
Easy-
plain that
easy
is.
path.
Yeah.
It's down a mountain,
Okay, but it's
but yes.
Do all of them fly?
No.
Can we get the? This is just Kyle talking, not Spike. But can we just get all the villagers to dig a giant ditch,
Real quick.
real quick?
We're real quick.
yeah.
Just like marching and going.
I have
Well,
the
they
impression
Go over the water, so they've got to have something planned for that.
The ones
Yeah.
in front will just fill the ditch, and the ones next
Yeah,
will
they'll
just
walk
keep
over
going.
them.
I think that's quite likely.
How is the evacuation going? Do we get a sense that some people are staying behind or not caring about it, or everyone is taking it seriously?
So, roll me a d6.
4
Better.
or worse,
No, 4, I mean.
but it could be worse.
Oh yeah.
We don't know the table.
I don't know.
So, as the time starts ticking down, and you get to probably about the 3 to 2 hour mark, you do notice that there are individuals that are defiant in evacuating.
Knew it. There's always some.
As in, they're just like, I'm not going to do it, or are they?
Basically, they feel like they are going to make a stand.
Against the Modrons.
Yeah.
Oh, can one of us have gone to our rooms and make sure we have all of our shit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I assume we
That was the first thing.
Yeah,
That was supposed to
we've,
be
we've done that.
I just wanted to
Lock
say
down our stuff
before.
first.
prime,
Yeah.
prime real estate in the tents.
Yeah, before the shit hits the fan, I want to just make sure.
If we see that happening, could we try to? Well, whoever sees it, I'm guessing, tells the others. I would hope, and maybe grab a few paladins and go into town and try to reason with these people to, like.
Yeah. So the
there's no point.
Oh, your charm could come in handy here.
Yeah, this
you
will
would
be.
have made it back into town.
This will be in
Alright,
the last
let's
few hours.
yeah.
I'm very persuasive.
Just like right around on the horse, like everyone get the fuck out, but in a nice, charming way.
Do it, make a song.
So-
Oh, yeah.
Charm
Like the
them.
rat guy.
Lead the rats.
Yeah, the piper.
Yeah.
in this
Trance
instance,
them.
Yeah.
there are 20 individuals that decided to make a stand. They basically are forming sort of like a wall of bodies to protect
Is
what
Is it up here?
it is. Yes, it's in the top
At the
right.
top gate?
Not the top gate. Go down and to the right. So
Where B is?
where C is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this
Yeah.
one.
There are 20 individuals that are making basically a human blockade down that street they're protecting a place that has a sign that dictates that there is a historic landmark
Aw.
of where a great prophet by the name of Krillina once lived a couple of 100 years ago.
Couldn't have been that prophetic, otherwise
Okay.
they would have mentioned this.
Would have built somewhere else.
Poetic irony.
All right.
Is it a movable
So-
thing or is it a thing that's?
It is the house that she lived in.
The house.
Okay, so we can't
It's not
exactly
like
just
a rock
quickly
or so-
pick it up.
So it's only a couple of 100 years old. So it was built after the last march.
Yes.
Which was 1,000 years ago.
So this is a new god. It's not like.
Well, it's not a god. This is a
Prophet.
prophet.
Oh, sorry.
A
This was a deity.
No,
that lived
it is
there.
a prophet.
I was like, why would a deity need a house?
I mean, hey, that's a
This is
Bahamut.
indeed.
Gods literally walk the
Yeah.
streets here.
They don't need houses.
Is there an obvious leader?
Coming from this shit.
They all just seem to be, making a stand. This is their prophet that they worship
It's a
under.
cult, guys. Forget
Imagine
about it.
if like Shakespeare's Globe Theatre was like
Essentially, that principle.
that kind of vibe that
Yes.
people are attached to this. They don't want to lose it.
Shakespeare
I-
would want us to die. He would want us to drink and have sex. And
Well, yeah.
Fuck the politicians.
Spike will look at his more charming companions. I have an idea, but
Lay it on us.
We destroy the house.
Then they've got
No.
nothing to protect.
That's
No.
really smart.
I'll volunteer to lead them. I will.
In the charge?
I will make it clear as day that their efforts will be futile. That whatever sacrifices they may make, they will be destroyed, their prophet's house eradicated, and nothing of them will be remembered.
Well,
Or
what we could do. Oh, sorry.
no, if you want to go. I was just thinking, maybe we could go into the prophet's house and like I could steal something really, really valuable and like tease them away with it. Can you
Yeah.
get it?
What if we just try and remove as many like artifacts that were important to her as possible?
Your house isn't special
I
anymore.
think
and
the
I'm not gonna
idea
use
is
it.
the house itself, is the location, rather than.
I do like
what's
the
inside.
reverse psychology.
Just to like.
I don't think we can. If they're committed to already dying.
I think that might be useful though. That might
Yeah.
drag a few away. If we say, "Look, I've got her pot of holy toenail clippings or whatever it is these
Yeah,
these idiots
exactly.
go for,"
I should be laughing.
then at least
sorry.
a few of them must run after it, right?
Yeah.
It'd be
And-
better to have a pot of toenail clippings than nothing.
Yeah. And regarding that, I had a thought. Why don't we get them to stand there in front of the house and we have a little wager with them? If they can stop this moving cart, then perhaps they'll stand a chance against some Modrons. And we'll get a couple of nice beefy draft horses to push it. And let's say it, breaks a few legs. But you have to break a few legs to make a
Works.
Omelette?
leglet.
Oh, I can help with broken legs.
Exactly.
There you go.
And they will see the futility of standing against something that is vastly more powerful than themselves.
That's really smart.
That's right.
That's very smart.
Yeah, I like the idea of you pretending to, leading them and
So
giving them an
persuasion
inspiring speech.
Yeah.
That's not
first.
that inspiring.
We play devil's advocate. So we play good cop, bad cop. You are convinced that these fine people can stand against the might of this
Or die trying.
this wagon, and I will
try to.
go
And-
against
And
you,
die trying.
Yes.
and we shall wager amongst ourselves for their continuation here in this place.
And then while they're distracted, I'll rob them,
Take something.
and then I'll catch them off guard, and maybe break the,
Legs.
the kind of dedication.
Break their legs.
No, we're not doing legs.
Oh.
Break it
Okay.
with no,
I mean, if their legs get broken by the cart, that's not to do with us.
I mean, it's a little bit to do with
I
us.
mean, yeah, but we didn't do it on
Technically,
purpose.
it's the cart.
Okay. All right. So let's just have a casual conversation as we walk towards them. And look at these idiots here. They're just standing. Obviously, they're going to be trampled by the Modrons.
Their faith will give them the resolve to stand against any opponent, even one as overwhelmingly numerous as the Modrons are. 200 times their own number. What bravery can you say against something like that?
I don't doubt their faith. I doubt the strength of their bones, frankly.
Well, I'm pretty sure that with the right kind of leadership, they can make an example a heroic last stand that will solidify their faith in the eyes of all those that live after them, because they are certainly not going to make
Exactly.
it
Kralina would have wanted us. Mitra devours us with a hunger to ensure that this ancient relic, this home of Kralina stands firm. And I am certain that with her might, we will be able to overcome this.
out. Oh, she would most certainly look upon you and wonder, really wonder.
Are you sneaking into the...
I'm trying to like go around
yeah.
the back, out of sight first, and then maybe see if I can find a back entrance.
Okay, yeah, you're able to find the back entrance.
Yeah.
This is the house. There's a
Unlocked?
front guard and the gate.
Very well.
Everything's unlocked. People don't lock their houses here.
What can you find?
Yeah. This is a thief's dream.
It's a horrible place.
This is how we make our millions.
Yeah.
We go around town to town telling them that the Mondrian March is coming.
Yeah.
Everyone leaves their
And we
houses
just
and I
steal
rob them.
all their shit.
A whole city's worth of loot.
Pretty sure I suggested this last time, but just saying.
All right. Very well then. I suggest a friendly little wager.
Oh.
Let's pit Saint. What was her name? Credulous?
Kralina.
Kralina. Saint Kralina against my good friend here, and I will pat the very powerful flanks of this this draft horse. Saint. Let's call him
Bernard.
Horseus. Saint Horseus here. If Saint Horseus can make it through your lines, then we shall accept that Saint Kralina has given her blessing for you to spread her word far and wide and not sacrifice your lives here vainly, and that you shall leave the city with the others so that you can spread her good word. But if you can stop Saint Horseus here, then it surely is a sign from above that you must stay and die upon this sacred ground.
There's no way.
I
There's
would-
no way they can stop that horse.
What do you think?
I would accept that. I would turn to them. That sounds like a fantastic letter. Even better, this sounds such a test of faith. Perhaps Kralina had a circle, a number of companions whose fervor drove them so eminently that they were the chosen ones. Perhaps you can replicate this. You can choose amongst yourself a smaller number to stand against this creature. Surely at least 5 of you can be found to stand in a line with shoulders and arms locked together as brothers and sisters of your faith, to withstand and show to your village that Kralina looks down upon you and gives you something.
Okay, as this is going on, you've snuck into the house. What are you
Not even the paladins
going
are
to
here
grab?
to do that.
It's generally just like a regular house.
Is
Genuinely
there-
do it in different
Is there any
times.
like cupboards or drawers or
Yeah, definitely.
yeah?
But it all has
anything?
like little red ropes in front of it.
It's like that
Like,
old wine
not
that's
touch.
really dusty.
You can walk through the
Little
house
placard.
and just
Yeah.
see, like you just
And
like
like-
take a couple of steps into a room and there's a rope. Ooh, this is a bedroom.
It's
Private.
basically
It says
like
private.
Do not sit on furniture.
Yeah,
Please.
there's like one staircase. It's
Is
like
there any
employees
like
only.
you know,
Yeah.
There's always
expensive,
one.
Yeah.
expensive looking bed knobs that screw off, or like you know things like that? You know that's got like a jewel on it or something. Or
Yeah,
anything.
there's a sign on one of the doors that says bedroom of Kalina.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a little red thing that
I'm gonna immediately jump on the bed
Shrine,
in a cloud of
Stars.
dust.
shrine with candles.
Yeah.
Shrine with candles, perhaps. Maybe some flowers.
I don't know.
Or a thing
I once
draping
heard
with
she had
it.
a holy
Chinese
candlestick
card.
which should beat her children.
Yes,
That would be
one.
valuable.
Nice.
yeah, you can see that there's like a very nicely ornately decorated bed knobs on the
Yeah.
bed.
Damn. There are bed knobs. What the fuck? You called it.
Can I get the one up?
Yeah, go on.
Steal a bed knob.
Oh, I gotta get off.
I don't imagine there's anything really expensive in there, but something that maybe looks like precious to them. Like you
Yeah.
said, something even if it was like on a book,
A
a
bedpan.
diary,
Like
or
their,
a
their
bedpan,
Bible or something.
Yeah.
Something.
A lock of hair.
a lock of hair, or something that might send the
Yeah.
fans
A hand
crazy.
like that.
So this place is like. Have you ever seen those plaques
Or an eye.
outside that says like Byron lived here for
Yes.
like 6 months?
Yeah.
It's basically like that.
Nice.
So there's nothing like incredibly significant to the individual that you wouldn't find in any other house. However, this
This
is
was his
Okay.
spoon.
this was
Krillina took her gap
but
year.
yeah,
The holy spoon.
there are random things
Yeah.
that people
Krillina,
have
yeah.
idolized because it
Is there
came
any,
from the
like-
mouth of this.
Are there any like items of clothing or anything?
That was hers.
Yeah, in the wardrobe there's a couple of old gowns, like
Any like caps or anything? Any headwear?
like a bedgown, and that'll be
no, like a
a bonnet.
any like a
A wizard's
headdress
hat.
or something or.
Is
anything.
there an image of her anywhere? And does she
A
look
painting?
like
Oh,
anything
yeah.
like Sprite?
There were portraits.
Oh,
They
shit.
don't look anything like Sprite.
Oh my god, we had the same thought.
Could look at
What?
someone
Yeah.
that looks like
I'm
something.
gonna start putting the clothes on. I'm
we
gonna
had
start
someone
putting
who
the
could-
clothes
call me-
on.
Yeah, if only we had someone who could just change
Like,
into any form.
Call me
Into a
like
ling.
that.
Yeah.
come out the window. Can I see Brady?
Yeah. You can try and grab Brady's attention. As you call Brady,
What?
I'm gonna be shouting on the other side if I notice any of this go into like 3 gold on the last stand. 3 gold on the death of these people. I think they can do it.
Okay, I'll try and go around the back now as well.
Any of the bets?
Is it can I break
Yeah.
away
And
from
meanwhile, while Brady's
You can
coming
get-
up, I'm gonna put on all the clothes and I'm gonna get my wings out and I'm gonna hover so that I look like a normal height
Just hover in the
humanoid.
window.
Hover in the
And
window.
I'm gonna put my hair in front of my face and I'm gonna hide behind the door.
Oh shit.
She looks upon us.
The lady looks upon us with favour.
We shall not move from
What's her
here.
name again?
Krillina.
Krillina. Yeah, I'm like waiting for Brady.
Sprite. Where are you, Sprite? Is this the window? Go
Yoinks.
Yoinks.
Are you coming in?
Yeah, I'll come in. You're like, Sprite.
I'm gonna go, Ram, Krillina. I don't know how to say the name. The clothes. Right. The profit. The
Right.
clothes. You.
I mean, I think you might be a bit short.
I know. That's why I
Oh.
got you involved. For
Can
the
we see
height.
any of this?
Oh.
Like looking into the window?
Right?
Is there a portrait of her
Um,
somewhere?
Roll me a perception check, and we'll see if you're fortuitous enough. No.
So +5.
Can I try as
so
well?
13.
13? Yeah, you can try if you're out the front.
How's your commanding voice?
Actually, I've got a passive of
Probably,
15.
13.
probably do something.
Yeah, so you notice them sort of, I don't know, you look up, just from your conversation, you just quickly have a glance around and you look at the building and you're like, why are they up there
I'm just gonna
Dressing up.
dressing
I'm
up?
just gonna message to D. Are you seeing this?
What, these crazy people?
Yeah. Hey, can you get them to do like, once this happens, can you get them to do like a ghostly visitation sort of thing and pop out like after it's?
I shall be a champion of Krillina.
Okay, we have our first idiot. Devotee, come on, step forward, young man.
And it's quite a relatively, like, one of the burlier individuals of the group. And they step forward and say, I think I can take on this horse.
Ah, yes, you're almost a fifth of its weight at least. I'm sure that you will definitely stand before this cart and
A
the
number of seconds.
probably
And
800
a
pounds
very
on it and
tentative,
the horse.
younger, like, one of the, maybe like an early teen sort of individual that sort of worships under the puppet says,
Oh no.
I will too. Yes, Krillina is, I can feel her energy flowing through me. She's calling me to...
Okay. You stand at the side maybe.
I'll send you a message saying I'm gonna go see what I can help with, and I try to also go into the house
And
to
I
help
will
these two.
step forward. If you will allow me, I have been convinced by the fervor of your faith to join you,
Okay.
Yes.
and I'll get in between.
Yes.
And make sure like the little scrawny kid is like I'll hold those shoulders, but like him is like
Yeah.
he's all the way here.
Like, that's amazing. What are you doing, Spike? You're gonna get run over.
And a few more of them start bickering as they're deciding who else is going to step forward.
2 others.
And
For there are always 5 companions.
I'm hitching this horse the other way round, so it's facing towards the cart,
Yeah.
and so it'll be racing forward with the cart in front of it like a battering
Okay.
ram.
Cool.
What are you guys doing up in the room now
Are we
that...
around back?
I'm trying to find a portrait and trying to change my visage into.
Is there
what
like a
this-
pamphlet or any
Krillina look like?
depiction of Krillina?
Yeah, so there's...
Painting.
Yeah, they've made a depiction of what they believe Krillina to look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll put on her gown.
Just do your best.
If you do
Like-
that, is there a window towards the what everything else is
Like a
happening?
There are some windows
Is there
in front.
like a
That's what you
poke
notice them
balcony?
through.
That'd be
If-
sick.
That would be
If you
amazing.
can turn up from there, do what you gotta do, and then I can, when you're ready, I'll tap you and turn you invisible so that you disappear.
Disappear after.
And I can do
Miracle.
druidcraft on you, so when you appear, your hair is floating in the wind, like wild.
That will be
And
pretty cool.
Invisibility is the last thing, and
Yeah.
you disappear.
Yeah.
All right. So
Oh,
you.
you're here now, are you?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You-
Didn't
So you gonna
You
like
snuck
crouch?
around.
Are you gonna like crouch down outside so you can like tap
just,
my leg?
just behind the window and
Okay.
down.
I think we got a plan.
And I sent a message to when we're all ready. I'll just send a message to Spike and Link, and just say, "You'll know when."
So
Hype it up.
at this point, you'll have 5 champions that have stepped forward.
Okay.
Definitely.
Do we want to go
We
out
should
before?
probably. Yeah, we should probably not let it get hurt.
Yeah.
That's my.
we should time it
Okay.
carefully.
So
As
I'm
a
gonna
sign.
like listen and wait until like Link says, "Okay, I'm gonna let him," and then I'm gonna come out, jump out.
Do your magic.
Oh, I
Um,
could do fairy fire.
keeping in mind that all of them are facing the street in front of them.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
But I am there.
You are there with them.
I have performance and shit. I'll be fine.
All right.
I'm an actress.
Yeah, that's true. So, do we have 5 brave souls?
Aye. 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 Aye.
That's too many.
Very well.
I only did 4 and then we had the 1.
Okay.
You shall test your faith
After 6 seconds.
against the might of Saint Horsius here, and I'll
guidance first.
I'll
That's
whisper
when-
in the horse's ear.
And when the time comes, test it.
I'm not sure if you understand me. I don't know how horses work in this plane. But if you do this, it's a nice juicy carrot in it for you. And I'll say, prepare yourself. The trial is about to begin.
Then I will step out. on
So
the
you've left the
balcony.
place and you're...
No, we're on like the balcony window area, right?
So I'm gonna grab
Okay.
you and
Yeah.
say, Mieliki is with you, and I cast guidance on you. You got
I have guidance now. And I'll
You already had
step
guidance
out.
anyway.
this. Yeah, it's extra, right?
No.
Does it
It's
say-
the same effect.
Ah.
What
You
is
can
that?
cast bless. What do you mean? with bless?
Okay.
I'm going to put bardic
Well,
inspiration.
I don't
never
remember
mind
about that.
then.
You
On
can
the
cast
horse.
bless
Yeah,
instead of
just in
bless.
case.
Oh, I don't use a spell slot.
I'm gonna step out into the like full view of the window, like pull the curtains, whatever, and like step forward into my visage.
And then I'm gonna cast fairy fire.
Nice. In Celestial, I'll start off with my champions,
Behold an apparition!
Behold!
and then in common, I will look down and say, "My champions, you have proven yourselves to me." Are they looking at me?
Yeah, there's some booming voice.
No, that's probably nothing.
No, turn around and know that.
Must have been the wind.
Somebody farted.
Yeah.
You are glowing.
I understand what you are trying to do here today. It is brave and valiant, but my earthly possessions, my worldly possessions, fuck, are we on Earth? My worldly possessions mean nothing. Your lives, your hearts, your souls, they must continue.
Oh, glory to the saint!
Wind machine.
Roll me a performance check. You have advantage from the fairy fire and
Yes. Everything else.
a d4 from your
Should be
regular
right.
guidance.
19.
19. Oh, yes.
No, I'm just happy.
He's just excited.
I thought you were getting my attention like a waiter. Waiter!
I'm just happy about it.
So, as you do so, all of the followers, not even just the ones that were willing to stake themselves, but the others, all fall to their
Yeah.
knees and they say, Kralina, you have come to us in visage. You truly are a devout follower of Mitra, that she would allow you to project yourself like this.
Who the fuck is Mitra, by the way? I have no idea what guy is.
Temple of Mitra. That's one of them.
One of the
One
gods.
of the local gods.
Yes, sons and daughters of Mitra,
The temple.
I am her vessel.
Tyr.
Yes, yes, you are.
You must leave this city.
Yes, yes, we must. If it is your will, then we shall.
Carry on Mitra's words. Pass them on through the generations. Live now. Be gone.
Invisibility.
And
Amazing.
everyone
You
else,
guys, that's such a good plan.
all of the followers out in the
Oh.
street.
It doesn't work. You can turn invisible with fairy fire on.
So
Well,
it's
in
just
that
an
case-
outline.
As soon as we realise Sprite is just
Gone.
I'm going to throw a cloak over you. And then you duck.
I mean, you could.
Just
so
standing
you
there
can
going,
apply fire
you
as
can drop-
concentration.
that went pretty well.
You can drop concentration.
Or I could just stop.
So the first one, so probably the first one doesn't work.
Yeah.
As you go, and it's like,
Be gone.
and I'm like,
Her holy radiance has stayed for but a moment.
Flame
and
off.
then it works.
Flame off.
Flame off.
And you go invisible after that, clamoring.
Smooth.
I'm just like backing into the room, like
Wow, that could have been. I mean,
That could have gone worse.
And the worshippers out on the street say, "It is a sign. We have been spoken to by our prophet." And they start to look at you, Spike, and say, "This truly is a symbol that we must build a temple to Kralino as soon as this
Build
ordeal
it
is over.
outside, as she said.
Will you help us?
Of course, get the hell out of here.
You stand by our side."
Of course, by your prophet's command, get the hell out of here.
Here, I've got a horse and wagon. Just put your stuff in there. Get out.
It's a taxi.
And they will
Saint
do so.
Horsius will carry
Saint
you
Horsius.
to your salvation.
And
Oh,
they
jeez.
will all get into the wagon with their stuff and they will leave.
Good horse.
Oh my god, we saved 20 people, you guys.
That was good.
That was a very well orchestrated plan.
It worked.
Weird, and it worked.
Hey, team.
Good teamwork, guys.
Yeah.
Can I can I be visible again? This feels weird.
You
No.
looked great.
Shake myself back into my normal male form.
Okay.
nice house.
We should
Yeah, look, I got a bed knob.
probably get out of here.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
So as you leave, probably about 90% of the city has been successfully evacuated.
Not bad.
The Modrons are basically at the gates, but there are still people in the
Right.
town. You know, the slow popes and the stragglers, and some individuals that are still a bit reluctant. So, we will take a quick break here, and then depending on if you are intending on trying to acquire the remaining stragglers,
Now 10% is worth losing.
Wow.
It's an acceptable
What is
casualty.
10%?
Probably about
Oh,
two,
just
300.
ignores an old people.
Oh, that's a
Acceptable
lot of
casualties.
people.
That's quite a lot.
That's a lot.
As soon as they see the Modrons, they're gonna run like fuck.
We haven't tried
Yeah.
the Pied Piper yet.
But they might run the wrong direction. So the Modrons are going to spread out, so they might
Yeah. that's
they
true.
might be running and
Into
then
the
end up
path.
just getting trampled anyway.
Yeah,
Or
we'll
maybe
see.
like glowing lights, and when it's dark, the sky is darkened because of the Modrons, there'll be the lights.
Like an airplane. Alright.
Okay. So we will take a quick 5-10 minute break, and we'll come back and we will resolve the remainder of this conflict.
Until then.
Thank you and welcome back. So, there is a percentage of the town still trying to wheedle its way through. However, an inexhaustible flood of Modrons start pouring into the town as they break off into 3 groups and they spill along the top tier. They march in perfect synchronization, breaking their formations at right angles as they split down into the town. So as you look down onto the map, you can see that they branch off. 1 just goes straight down the center, 2 that go off the sides, and then that starts to branch off and down. So the first things that you hear as you're sweeping through town trying to mop up the remainders is you see a group of old men stood outside of a tavern known as the Old Philosopher's Tavern. And they got weapons brandished. Old rusted family swords that have been passed down generations, and these are old men in them of themselves. And you can see them, one of them's got a sword in one hand and a cane in the other, and another one sat in a wheelchair wielding like a big staff.
Hey man, disabled people can be badass too.
They can be badass.
In this context, they can also be squashed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, strong, healthy men wouldn't stand a chance.
Everyone's
so
getting squashed right now.
Everyone's getting squashed.
Even the buildings.
And as they notice the Modrons starting to approach them, one of the men will sort of wheel themselves forward and say, "Obey the law. We have a treaty that says that you shall leave this structure alone." To the Modrons. And one of the Decatons that is leading this branch says, "We are not aware of any such treaty. We shall proceed." And the old man sort of looks over at you and says, I've got a contract somewhere around here.
Where did you last see it?
In the building?
Yes.
Where did you last see it?
I start searching.
Somewhere in the library.
Alright, quick, to the library. Let's go.
I mean, if you haven't got it now, you should really just get out of the way. At least save your life if you can't save this building while we look.
I mean, we're old and we don't have much else. This is...
Your lives still have value.
Absolutely.
That's a
Haven't you
terrible
got
attitude.
family and friends that would miss you?
Not really. This is
Wouldn't you
our
miss each
family.
other?
This is our home away from home.
D, I hope you're not bothering with the sentimental nonsense. Come on, we need to search this library.
I'm already.
Yeah, you
Okay,
guys
good.
are searching.
Yeah.
I'm down
And,
there.
Yeah, I'm talking.
One of them will step forth to the Modron and say, "We are sending people to get this treaty. Don't do anything until we can prove this to you." And they will say, "We shall wait."
Well, shit.
I
We
wasn't
search.
expecting that.
Okay.
Beings of pure reason and logic. This is why we cannot fight them.
We do not understand their ways.
So, as you head in to the tavern, and you start sort of rummaging around,
Roll spot hidden. Oh, wrong game.
can everyone that's going in to investigate and try and find this, roll me an investigation check, please.
Nice.
Oh, that's going to be pretty good.
Oh.
Oh.
You have not been rolling very well, Kyle, have you?
You have the cursed dice.
Historically been very bad in the last 2 sessions.
Yeah.
30, 20.
19.
19. So as you all run in and look sort of around, you do go into the library, and in one of the oldest books that you have there, you see sort of like a crumpled up piece of paper. The writing is barely legible, but it is signed, and it does say exemption on
Is it part of the book?
It's not part of the book, it's held in the book.
Okay. Right.
Got it?
Toss the book.
It's promising.
And yeah, you have this piece of paper.
I'll message out to one of these two and just say, we got it. Just hold them for a little bit longer.
Ah.
They're coming.
Yeah, they're coming.
They're
They'll
coming,
be
they're
here
coming.
in just a moment.
Excellent. And they'll literally just stand there vacantly staring as they wait.
I'll just stand back with like a smile on my
Could we have done this with all of them? Just, guys, we've got a contract. Just wait
Produce
there
some
for
papers.
eternity. We'll go and find.
I'm sure it looks pretty official.
And you after a minute or two, you eventually come out with.
Look, it says no house. Read.
Well done.
D found it.
Well done.
It appears treaty has been signed. Divert. And they will start moving their way and circumventing around this tavern.
Hey, old timer, why was this contract made in the first place? What's the secret behind this place?
Well, this is probably one of the oldest buildings in the recent cycle. We're all part of the Philosophers Guild, and well, with philosophy, everything has to be kept in good form. So we actually appealed for this way back.
Alright, well, you stay in this house. I'm gonna go check on, and I'm just gonna like get on my horse and try and gallop in the front and see if there's anyone else.
Are we okay to send people that are trapped in town and unable to escape to this building?
Certainly.
There you go.
Jesus.
Let's keep going.
I'm gonna fly.
So you have managed to
Yeah.
find
Onwards and horses.
managed to find a potential safe house. So this is where B is on the map.
Aha!
So up by Lion's Pride. So the people that can't evacuate out the E exit, you'll be able to send them here.
What was it called? The Philosophers
The
Guild?
Philosophers Inn, the old Philosophers Inn.
Would we been able to have a look at the contract real quick?
That's not how you
Just,
spell.
Yeah, you can have a very brief look. It's very legally written. So the way that it is structured dictates that as per any of the cycles, this building has exemption
I think we're out of time.
Yeah. I think so.
from any and all future Modron marches,
Hold on.
and is to be presented to the Modron officer at time of search.
And how long ago was it?
Dated? Probably about 2 cycles ago. This is very old, and the paint and the ink is.
Starting to.
As I said, you've got like little holes and gaps in it,
And he was just using it as a bookmark.
basically.
Yeah.
These are philosophers.
Yeah.
Objects are meaningless.
Transient.
Transient.
Except when you need one. to say
So when you need one.
Make sure
And the
building isn't
books
transient.
that tell you that objects are meaningless, which you have to pay exorbitant amounts of money. Okay.
Find some more people.
So as the march proceeds, you head down towards Citizens' Rest, where the Modrons are walking peacefully along the roads of Citizens' Rest, and then they suddenly make a turn toward the harbour, systematically destroying a 3-story apartment building that stands in their way. They burrow through the structure and forge their way down the mountainside into the first tier. You hear cries coming from civilians on the top floors
Oh, fuck it, they're idiots.
Idiots.
of the
At least they
house,
did. Fuck it, they're dead.
which is rocking and shaking.
I'm gonna fly up.
Okay, so you see that there are 3 elderly individuals and 2 small children huddled on a bedroom floor on the top floor.
Shit.
Alright. We need to find
What's
something
your-
soft. Hay, big bundles of cloth, something like that.
What does your pixie eyes see?
We're near harbor. Are there rope and hooks around?
Oh no, I think we're
Yeah. You're where D is situated.
Oh, so
we're not actually at the harbor.
We're not
They
close
just
to
but
the
you're
water.
at the merchant's tier.
middle of the
Okay.
city.
You're next to the
Middle.
merchant's tier.
Holy shit,
Can
all
we
over the
find-
streets.
You can you can try and find some. So Spite, you've flown up to the door.
How many do I
to the
see?
room. So there were 3 elderly individuals, 2 small children.
Okay. Can someone like message so I can communicate? I would have shouted this. Like,
What do you see?
um,
Message.
I'll tell them.
So yeah, there were 3 elderly individuals and 2 small children.
First floor?
Top floor, second floor.
Second floor. I throw a rope at you. Tie it somewhere safe.
The building's falling down.
Well, if it's falling down, then it's going to fall down. But while it doesn't fall down, there's a rope attached.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
looking for
Um,
things.
Is there like I don't know, like a windowsill or like a, not a drain pipe because that would be weak, but something.
A hole in the
Yeah,
wall.
you can open up the window or get them to sort of one of them to open up the window.
Yeah, maybe tie it to the door on the other side.
Conveniently modern size.
Where have we got this rope from? How long is it?
I mean, everyone has rope in their
Everyone
bags.
has rope.
Should we all tie it together?
50 feet.
Yeah.
50 feet of rope.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so I'll take the rope up and get them to secure it to like a door on the inside of the room so that it's pulling from the other direction.
Okay.
And then
Okay, cool.
I will,
So as you do so, the elderly individuals will beckon for the children to start climbing down the rope.
Yeah.
It's going to take them a few rounds in order to do so.
Can you not fly them down?
can I lift?
Could we
yeah,
have
can I
pre-greased the
try
rope
and-
with pig fat and just
Down, gone.
Yeah.
Massive rope
Rope
burns.
burns.
That's
Um,
fine.
While they're doing that, can I try and find something soft in the area? Maybe some hay or
Yeah, roll me an
something
investigation check.
to try and put it underneath. So
A mattress
Can
for
I
the
go
when
in?
one of the
building.
yeah, when one
Fly
of the
in
old people
and see if I am able to lift.
falls.
You can
Hey.
lift the small children.
Yeah.
The elderly folk, you won't be able to lift.
Okay, I'm gonna obviously just take. Can I lift them both at the same time?
Your stature and what's your strength?
I don't remember.
Beefy.
I'm
No.
not beefy. I don't think.
Very unbeefy.
And
10
strictly
plus
average.
0.
You'll probably be able to carry one child at
Okay.
a time,
Yeah, I'm
and,
gonna.
That's
and still be able to fly.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the first one I see.
Okay.
Like a fireman's
Alright.
pole, just grab them and like.
19.
Yeah, I was gonna fly
19.
down.
Yeah, you're able to find some loose detritus and parts that you can sort of make makeshift sort of
Alright.
soft.
I'm making like a crash mat thing underneath.
Nice.
So like if anyone
The rope?
like goes the let's go with the rope.
Are you on your horse still?
I'm on my horse.
Okay, so I'm gonna fly down to you with the kid, and I'm gonna plop them on the back of the horse.
Okay.
And tell them
Brilliant.
like, Brady's gonna look after you.
Cool.
Like, don't be scared, because I know you will.
Brilliant.
And then I'm gonna fly back up for the other kid and
Okay.
try and get them down.
What's the building looking like at the moment?
You reckon it will fall at any moment?
Okay.
Sure.
You're probably thinking 15, 20 seconds.
I'm gonna take this kid out of the way of the Modrons and stash them behind a building that isn't gonna get
Interesting.
destroyed, hopefully.
Okay.
Because there's like, by the wall, the city wall.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Can I do that?
Yep.
So we've saved one kid.
Okay, one child. You're grabbing another
Got
one.
the second one, and I'm out the window presumably with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the elderly
sorry,
people are
no,
starting
I'm
to
gone.
climb down the rope.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna drop the other kid off.
I'm gone.
You're
I'm-
gone.
Yeah.
Who's here? You're here. Okay. Just look after this kid. Okay. And I'm gonna fly back up to the elderly people. Oh, is there anything I can do to make it easier for them?
I think just help them
Yeah.
help them like
Yeah.
find their footing and
Yeah. Maybe be like tying, like knots into the rope as they go down, so that it kind of makes a
Okay.
step and they can go a bit quicker.
Okay. So with you doing that and taking time to do that, you managed to get both of the elderly people out, but there was one child left in the building.
I
As
thought you
this-
said there were 3 old people.
Yeah, 3 old,
Three
2
old.
Oh, yep, sorry,
One
3
elderly
old.
person.
There's one elderly person
Okay.
there.
Okay.
That's even worse.
Okay, I'm gonna fly
Well-
It's
back.
more difficult to get.
Yeah, but they've had a life, part of a life.
I'm already flying back.
I'm gonna message Sprite and say, just push him out the window if you need to.
Well, I was
We
gonna
can
say,
heal
even if I
bones.
can get them onto the rope, even if it falls, I might be able to
Things
like
don't get crushed.
use a strength check at the end just to kind of like almost lift them into the air and like land with them.
Yeah,
Okay.
just do a soft landing.
Yeah.
So
Maybe.
as the building starts to fall, do me a strength check, and we'll see if you can save this old man.
Can we give moral assistance?
Oh, hang on, I got
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I'm gonna. Oh,
17.
17.
And you got the soft landing.
And you got the soft landing. So with the soft landing, and you being able to sort of direct them
Athletics.
out the
No.
window as the building is collapsing, you almost stood there for a second, flying, holding on to this man as the building collapses around you, and you sort of use the last of your strength just to try and last long enough to get them down and onto this soft thing. But you are able to successfully save the old man.
close.
And then I just find myself like wrapped up in the arms of an old man, like, "Hi, how you doing?" Sorry, I'm not usually
That
this
was-
familiar with people.
That was, and you can see that this old man has unfortunately wet himself. with fear.
That's fair.
That's okay. And I'm gonna be like, "It's okay. I'm Sprite. I'm gonna take care of you."
Thank you, young person.
That was scary, right?
It was very scary. Yes,
Oh. We did it though.
you did it.
You did it.
No, you did it.
No, you did it.
Oh, you did it.
Okay, we all did
Clear
it.
out!
Let's go.
Clear
Let's go.
out!
Let's
The
go.
buildings have fallen!
Thank you so
I'm
much.
gonna like help lead him away.
Try and like signal to
You've
you
got
guys
one
over
kid.
here.
You've got the other two are with you. Elderly people.
Who does this belong to?
By the scruff of the neck.
Over
It's
here.
making noises.
That's my grandson.
Ah! He is unharmed. They are unharmed.
Yeah, I'm harmed.
It is
And
unharmed.
we'll reunite them, hopefully, if we can.
So what's your plan to do with these people that you've rescued?
Are we so close
It's
to
probably-
the sanctuary
It's probably
place?
close to the philosophers.
Yeah.
The
It
old
is-
philosophers.
it's about a
Inn,
street
so
away or
may
so.
as well just take
Can
them.
we-
Have the
like,
Modrons
leave them
moved
there.
past now?
They are moving past,
Okay.
but there are still sort of contingents in the back.
Okay.
So it's still not fully safe.
You take them,
Right.
Go
take
to
them
the
to the Philosopher's
Philosopher's
Guild,
Guild.
and I'm gonna fly and just see if I can hear anyone else.
Okay. Yeah,
so
I'll
I'll
stay.
be aerial support.
I'll message you every couple of minutes.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you can tell us.
Okay.
I'll ferry them to the guild.
And yeah, if you guys do that, we'll go like a street down and do the same thing, and I'll just keep messaging you to stay in contact.
Excellent. So the next place after you manage to get these people to safety is the library that Dee spent some time at. Outside of the library, you can see the feeble old woman that was telling you to shh as you were in the library.
Bypass.
No one here. All clear.
Okay.
She is holding a tome and shouting at the Modrons. The Modrons each have a sword in each of their hands, and the librarian shouts, "But think of all the knowledge that will be lost!" And the pentagram falters for a second.
What is the issue? Why have you not left?
This place holds so many documents and information for pilgrims to work their way through, to ascend. I can't just let all of these pilgrimages just not have the guidance they need.
The one that faltered, the Modron that faltered, let's say,
Is a pentagram.
Pentadrone. Pentadrone, is there a way perhaps an exception can be made for this knowledge to not be lost?
What knowledge is dictated?
Lady, explain.
And she will try to appeal to the Modron, and you can see he's trying to do calculations to weigh up the cost of knowledge versus their task.
I just say that it feels as if to assist on our cause. It feels like this is very specific knowledge that will not be easily replaceable.
This knowledge is useful to multiverse.
Yes.
Pilgrims come from all verses.
This is religious knowledge, then.
This is religious, but also practical knowledge.
Practical knowledge. Roll me a persuasion check, and we'll see.
It's not good.
Can he add his intelligence modifier instead? That's a logic-based conversation.
Just the same.
Oh.
14.
14. It weighs up the religious impact and then the practical impact. When it's considering the religious implications, this thing has no real interest. But the moment you said that it's practical knowledge that can be passed on, this thing's mind sort of reels and you can see it, and it puts its swords down and says, practical knowledge may be preserved, religious nonsense can be purged.
Does not compute.
Unfortunately, it's all mixed up together, so probably best just to leave it alone.
It would be a waste of time for you to sift through the whole thing.
It would be very illogical.
Do you say that?
I'm not there.
I thought you were with me.
I thought I was,
Yeah,
I was
you
flying.
You're
But I think
more
once
floating
you
I thought we
around.
were
Oh.
messaging so that
Oh,
you could
yeah.
return when a situation arises.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, then I would.
You would say it would be illogical.
It's very illogical.
Logic dictates illogical process failure. We divert.
Very good.
And they start to move around, much like they did with the Philosopher's Inn. And they'll move themselves around.
I saw the lady. Lady, get inside. And if any others come, make sure that you tell them that this happened.
You're a sanctuary now.
Does it go through building? Do they go avoid?
They literally just plow through. They walk.
They destroy.
As in
the
when they're
buildings.
going around the library, like it's not on a. It doesn't have like streets to its side that they go down on. It just have buildings that they.
So, yeah.
They walk through a couple of buildings, but the ones that aren't part of the route, the ones that have been pre-agreed that they don't go through, they will divert themselves around. But if there are buildings that don't have that, then they will
Cut through.
cut through them.
Alright.
Shit.
Back in the air.
Yeah, and I'm back on my horse now.
Okay.
Let's go out
You
scouting.
follow the paths of the Modrons, and you don't see any other individuals sort of in the way, so to speak. And you eventually follow them, and they converge on one of the piers at the end of the harbour. And you can see that there are various ships in the way, and the Modrons will begin moving out towards the ships, and they start pulling the wood from all of the ships, and then they go to the end of the pier, and they start constructing a bridge
What?
out over the pier.
This is fascinating, but I'm gonna go and make sure that there's no fires or anything, and let I'm gonna go let the camp know that the paladins can come in and also fight fires. Is that all right?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Are they still searching the town, or are they?
It appears that all of the Modrons have converged, and they are just taking any and all ships, and they are just dismantling them and using their
Such a
wood as
waste.
lumber to construct a bridge
To
out
cross.
into the harbour.
It's close to nothing though.
Seemingly.
Wow.
We're somewhere, that's for sure. This is the most efficient way of doing it. So they didn't find. It doesn't look like they found what they were looking for in town.
It does not.
So they didn't know whatever it was there for sure. They were just looking.
But they know what they're looking for.
They know what they're looking for, but they don't know exactly where it is. Okay.
And
I
they
thought
don't really
did.
know what it is until they find it, right?
That is the impression you got from conversing with them. So, the immediate threat to the town is over. You've saved pretty much everyone in the town with your forward thinking. There doesn't appear to be anyone unaccounted for. The Temple of Tyr, the worshippers of Tyr, have made a register and they've documented everyone, their residence, and they've organised people into groups depending on where they reside within the city. The Modrons have basically destroyed all of the ships in the harbour and have built a bridge out into the middle of the Silver Sea. And if you look out, you see them starting to disappear.
Weird.
Through the gate. Whatever gate they were looking for.
So they made something.
Well, we arrived
Can we
in the gate
see
in the
a
middle
gate?
of the sea, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
It's quite far out into the distance.
Okay.
And there's quite a lot of the Modrons blocking your path. Like you're looking from the shore out to them, and they've got the bridge in the way, so you can't really see anything. But you do notice that they're not building out further; they're just stopping here and then disappearing.
Interesting.
Well, there they go. I suppose we should go to the camp and see if there's anything we can do.
As we walk back, I would just say, so they didn't find what they were looking for, or it seems like they didn't. What if what they're looking for is in one of the houses that they bypassed?
Well, maybe. I thought you were going to say maybe the true treasure was the friends they made along the way.
Or maybe it just wasn't here at all.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think they do this across many planes.
There will be other cities that they
yeah.
haven't. Yeah.
This is just one of the many places. But it's true, yeah, maybe it's in the old Philosopher Inn. Or
That reminds me, we should, wherever that gate goes, we should probably call them and let them know that there's a big bunch of Modrons coming.
true. Do we know where that goes?
So as far as you're
Really
aware,
interesting.
they go to a place called Excelsior.
Okay.
From the information you've managed to gather, Excelsior is a gate town in the Outlands. So each of the planes on the outer planes have a town that is connected and associated with that plane, and it is usually the main point of entrance for anyone that's not in Sigil. That out on the Outlands, they'll go to the gate town, and that gate town has a portal
They
that
could be
leads
going anywhere.
to that plane in particular.
Right. So, right now, the first Modrons will be inside the town.
Correct.
There's not much point in this warning. They're already getting troubled.
Yeah.
Is it worth us trying to contact Sigil and letting them know? We don't know if the Modron March is going to go through there, but
True. I mean, it could go.
it could go anywhere.
Could
We
go
don't know.
Can we ask them before they all leave? Will they tell us?
True. We could try.
They might be reasoned with to
Yeah.
share their information.
If there's a pentadrone or something. Excuse me. Where are you going after this?
We will lead through to Excelsior and then travel through Outlands to next gate town, up, through, and repeat.
Right.
Why is the cycle early?
We were dictated to leave.
I know we keep asking that, hoping for a new answer, but
The boss decided it was time.
Yeah. I think they've got their orders.
The boss will know why.
If anyone knows, it's not one of these. Well, this town has run out of ale and amusements, so
I mean, the Philosopher's Inn is still there.
it's true. Should we get a drink before it gets too busy?
There
You're
was-
still technically on a path.
There was some rubble that I promised the cops I'd help them clear out.
Fair enough.
But you can go get a drink.
They will tell you that the next destination from Excelsior is Tradegate, the gate town to Bitopia.
Right. Let's
Yes.
just tell
Wait,
someone in
wait.
Heart's Faith. Let's tell Cauldronborn, and
Yeah.
he can send someone through.
Yeah.
Bitopia is where my acting troupe was last seen, y'all.
And also the place where the musical college is.
I was gonna say you.
Oh,
studied
damn!
there.
Not my college!
Oh, now you care.
Z,
It's fine. It's a gate
you've
town, we can
been
take care of it.
on this plane for a good day and a
Oh
half.
shit.
2 days now.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
You don't need to roll anything.
No.
Hey!
What happens?
Ooh.
Nothing.
Oh.
He dies.
He's just fall to the
Oh.
ground. Don't breathe anymore.
Pulmonary embolism or whatever
Yeah.
they're called.
You destroyed all your drugs and you haven't had any urges to take any of them since you've arrived in...
Don't need to go on the path. Let's go back.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go. We're done.
So what happens now?
Do
Are we
need
s-
to
are we
chase this
still-
fast?
Yeah, are we
Shit.
following the Modrons? Are we still going up the
To what
mountain?
end? I thought our path led us up there, not to there. That, I feel, does not have anything to do with us.
It may destroy some of our leads as
Mm.
it tramples everything in their path.
I really don't want that musical college to go under.
I don't want anyone to die.
What have we done?
But it's unlikely that it
What do
will
you
go
mean what
through.
we've done? We saved the whole town. Everyone in it.
Sure. Whatever. Okay, yeah. We have done that. But we haven't exactly stopped them.
No, but we could warn people, give them more time.
It's unlikely that they will go through the college. They won't. They will not be building a new college every cycle.
That's true.
But they'll still go through other places.
I just feel like those
Well, that's
places
okay.
can
Well-
then take care of themselves.
I
That's
mean,
true, I agree.
Wouldn't it have been nice for us to have a few days warning?
Yeah. I just think it's really irresponsible of us to sit on this knowledge and not do anything with it.
Well, I
At
think we
least-
tell Cauldronborn, and Cauldronborn can send his fastest riders to spread
But
the
is
news.
he capable? If
He
we were
seems
not
a little bit
here,
Useless.
I don't know what the death toll would have been.
And
Well,
there's still a jellyfish on the loose.
Fuck, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
Again,
Is it really our problem?
is it our problem? Just
I
saying.
mean, it depends what kind of people we want
If
to
we
be.
encounter it, we can probably deal with it, yes. Again.
yeah, I think they've got paladins for that. That's
Exactly.
Well,
they
the
have
head-
we have they have the temples of Mitra and
Their
here.
head paladin was killed by it with no much, not much.
They still have other people.
yeah.
And other places will also have other people.
But what?
The
what
academy did produce you and I'm sure other better people.
Hard to imagine.
If everyone took the same tack that you're taking, then there would be no one to save the school. If you pass it off onto someone else and keep passing it,
I have a
There is
question.
a limit.
I have a question. What other objectives do we have? What is the next thing that we want to do that is more pertinent than this?
Go up that mountain.
What's up the mountain that we need? Truly.
I need to finish my path.
Screw the path.
you need to finish your path. The
To what
path
end?
you didn't even know you wanted to take before we got here.
True. But I did say I would do it.
Oh, it's one of those things. One of those principles.
I do need to have a bath in that lake to stop my urges.
Are
Which I
you-
haven't had since I destroyed my thing.
Yeah, our plan was to go to that lake, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, you've been almost pleasant, actually, recently.
Hmm. I've seen you in a different light as well. I don't know why, but
Wow.
it seems like I can see in color.
And Sprat needs to go back to that unicorn place. That's on our list.
Yeah, but
And
I don't
Batopia's
have my
on our
memories
list.
yet.
I mean, it would be
know.
quite presumptuous of us to believe that we could affect such, important change and to be the saviors of towns and peoples.
We don't have to be the saviors, but we could be.
Can we at least send
You
a
know-
message or a pigeon or something?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could be the allies of these towns.
I mean, I'm not saying we have to go around and do what we did today in every city, but
Today was a very special circumstance.
I would vote for a message to be sent, but not for us to follow the motions.
That's absolutely fine.
How far along this path do you think you need to go before we can call it complete?
Yeah, at least
the next level.
the spring.
The Nectar of Life?
Yes, that.
The second thing.
That's the library, isn't it, in Mount Celestial?
It is the library in Mount Celeste.
Everything we need is on the second tier, right? We're on the first one. We need to go.
The Glass Tan, which is the destination that Dee needs to go to, is on the second layer.
It is now on the second one.
It is now on
It
the
is
second
now.
layer.
Yeah.
It is now.
It is now and has
Let's-
always been on the
yeah.
second layer.
Exactly. I don't care what any books or boxes tell me.
Or maps.
Or maps.
Let's go speak to Cauldronborn,
Yeah.
and maybe they can task one of the paladins to ride as hard as they can to go warn these places.
Yeah.
And that the next place can warn the place ahead, and
True.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a good idea. I think we speak to Cauldronborn. We go to the camp at least.
our responsibility only goes so far.
And Alaria is quite capable.
Hmm.
If Cauldronborn won't do it, I'm sure Alaria can get
Yeah.
some messages.
Maybe you
I
could
think I
write a
trust her a
song
lot.
about today so that people will hear it in far off lands and they will believe the terror of today and they won't just go, that's not going to happen to us.
And of course of the
Early
heroism
Madra.
of the the fine people who saved everyone.
What was our name? Group of that. Name of the group?
The creative oblivion.
Oblivion.
Ah.
You sure you don't need your drugs?
Words.
It'll
I have
take
a-
them a while to get used to it,
Yeah.
I'm
I
sure.
have an oblivion in my brain right now.
And I'm real glad that you haven't felt any urges, but I still would feel better if we did get to that second layer, and maybe it's just something in the air around here.
Oh, you think maybe it's temporary.
Well, I mean,
If
I hope
everyone
not,
was-
but
Oh, that's okay. He's snarling at me. It's
I
fine.
feel like I've been extremely lucky while I've been here, and that is not a normal thing.
Yeah, same.
So,
I have not had much luck in this city, so I am happy to see the back of it.
Let's, dot the I's and cross the T's, and we can then move on.
sounds like a plan.
Although this has been a long day, perhaps we take a long rest.
Could I speak to that lady that we helped save the knowledge?
The librarian.
Yeah, because she said that there was knowledge there for the pilgrims.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps there's knowledge there on how to speed up this path of ours.
Yeah.
Can we just cheat?
Not cheat, but enhance.
Can we?
Pay to win.
Yeah, pay to win.
Get two people on the same keyboard, kind of thing.
we need to go to that place, the place where we exchanged our money.
The Bureau de
Dragonborn.
Change.
They said that there was a shortcut there. But
The shortcut was told to you by Rex.
Rax said that there was a shortcut.
Yeah. Rax is smart.
Alright, so let's head to the
Could just be
the
a
camp.
rumor.
Okay. Heading out towards the camp.
Yeah.
So the camp outside is very regimented. As I said, they have sectioned people off depending on where in the city they're from to make movement back into the city as organised and civil as possible. Work up the top and work down closer towards the entrance. So the people that are closest to the gate will be the last ones to get there, so that they can basically
Clever.
feed the entire city back down.
So it's not just chaos.
So it's not just chaos. The different camps, depending on who you're going to see, who's planning on going to talk to who.
Cauldronborn first, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Alaria.
Okay, so Cauldronborn.
I'm also gonna find like a kid or a messenger or something. I'm gonna give him a gold coin and say, book us a room at the the Old Philosopher's Inn.
Kid won't take a gold coin.
I'll give him a silver coin.
10 silver.
I'll give him 1 silver coin.
And
Won't
ask,
take a gold, you'll take 1/10 of a gold.
I ask to do what, sorry?
Book a room at the Old Philosopher's Inn for all of us to stay in.
Okay. So you find a kid, and when he goes and gets filtered back into the city, he will go and try and organise that for you.
I'll give him 2 coins and say go now.
He's not allowed.
He's not allowed.
That's fine. I'm paying him.
Find a way.
Yeah.
Find a way.
I'll say here's 2. You'll have the other 8 when you get back if you have secured us lodgings.
But we're being filtered in bit by bit.
It seems that you are not the child for the job, and I'll take that away. You there! How would you like to make 10 shiny silver coins?
Roll me a percentage, and I will give you a 20% chance. So 20 or under.
I don't like this city. People can't be bought. This is not my place. I like to single. Everyone's crooked. Everyone's crooked and getting
So you
bought.
have a 20% chance, 20 or under, to see if you find a kid that is willing to
Yeah.
disobey the Paladins of Tyr.
20 or under?
20 or under.
34.
34. You are not able to find a child that is willing to disobey the direct orders
Spent
of.
14 points of luck.
I'm quite miffed at this.
The
I'm
guy doesn't
going
even-
around to the kids going, you missed out, and you missed out, and you missed out. I'm going to take a silver coin. And I go, I don't even care about the silver coin. I'm going to eat it. That's how much it means to me. I'm going to go lay down. That was a bad idea.
And you get silver poisoning.
Someone shape changed me into something with a big esophagus.
Oh shit, this will be the time when you find out you're a vampire or something.
Oh, well.
You killed yourself.
It burns.
No children are going to disobey
You could just try and
orders.
find someone that is in the first phase.
Why didn't you say this before?
You idiot.
So illogical.
What about the ones they saved? They owe us.
Do I give you too much credit for being
Well,
able to
all
think
the
for
ones that
yourself?
you've just
I
saved
just
are
assumed
currently
that-
in the Old Philosopher's Inn.
Everyone can be bought. I don't understand these morals that everybody's talking about. Just take the money and do what I say.
I think we might be here for a long time. We're never going to get into that second phase.
What does Cauldron Born say?
We'll get an honorary degree.
Yeah,
Might be the only path at this point.
it's true.
So, as far as I've been told by the Order of Tyr, I don't think we've had any casualties as far as I'm aware.
Fantastic, congratulations.
You are welcome.
We do have,
When is the mayor
Back.
back? When are the mayor's people who I keep forgetting?
Masu.
Lamasu. When are the Lamasu back?
I don't know. They go to pray and find their peace, and then they'll return when they've done whatever it is they do.
Very convenient.
They sound great.
Well, you will be the savior of the town, I guess, when they are back.
Ooh, this might bode well for my re-election.
I'm sure it will.
Listen of the people, and he'll stand up and say, "Thank you, all loyal constituents, for following the carefully laid out plans to evacuate the city. You all did an excellent job, and we are all very proud of you."
I deeply regret what I've done in the last 2 hours.
Alright, Boris. So,
Have you, you must have ways of communicating with other towns outside of Celestia, right? Mount Celestia?
I mean, we can send somebody.
Yeah.
How
It-
quickly?
I mean, I can get one of the guards to go.
In order to avoid calamity in other towns, we would request or suggest that you send out envoys to places like Bactopia and other places that connect to that gate town, warning them that the Madron March is 200 years too early.
Okay. Yes, I will do that. Yes. And
Now,
she-
please. Now.
I don't forget to tell them to pass it on.
Yes.
Pass it on.
Make sure Ilaria is organising some of this.
You have other more important things to do.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Task this to Ilaria. I
Yeah.
think it's
Excellent. Alaria.
Wait,
And
women's work.
she
it's work for someone with half a brain, I think.
she'll come over and she'll relay the request to send somebody out, and she'll say, "Yes, I will organise that imminently."
Oh, thank God.
Thank you.
Organising.
How did you win it?
Very good.
They might actually be okay.
Well, if there's nothing else we need to do, perhaps we take a rest and...
Is there a reward for this?
I thought the reward was doing good deeds.
Well,
I say with a
Yeah.
completely straight face.
we did it without asking for one, but if there is one, why not take it?
That's true.
I thought it had to be offered first.
Cauldron Born,
Just not demanded.
I mean, my Lord Mayor. Surely, it's important to show what a generous leader you are in these difficult times, is it not?
Yes.
Well, given that, perhaps we could give a sort of hero's reward to all of the people who worked so very hard and tirelessly to make sure that all the townspeople were safe.
Excellent. Yes, I will make sure that everyone is aware that you are the heroes that saved the town, and I will put in a good word with you with the Order of the Plains Militant.
Exposure, is it?
Right. Exposure. Yes. That is amazing. But that other thing you said about the the silver reward, I think that was a great idea.
I don't think I quite said anything.
Yes, you did. Just before you said something about was it 800,000 silver each? Quite. I don't exactly remember the amount that you said. It was surely a very mayoral sort of decision.
I really don't remember something like that.
Oh, it must have been Ilaria. Fantastic assistant she is, full of good ideas.
I will have a word with her.
Okay, we're going to be staying at the Old Philosopher's Inn, so just send it there. It's fine.
Okay.
I don't think that's going to work. It was worth a try.
I think there are better buttons to push
It seems that
than ones that literally don't exist.
we're getting paid in exposure.
Well, I guess we go to the inn.
Oh,
Excellent. Well, thank you very much again, and you are great heroes to this town.
Don't forget, the
Cracking.
creative oblivion.
Creative Oblivion, yes. I'm sure the Archons will be very pleased.
who are the Plains Militant again?
The Order of the Plains Militant. They're an organisation in Mount Celestia here. They are the fighters of justice.
Everywhere? In Mount Celestia?
They have multiple locations situated along the plain, yes.
Okay.
And then he'll sort of point out to sort of see a floating, almost like a castle floating out in the far distance over the Silver Sea, and says that's one of their bases over there.
Of course it is. Very well. I suppose a reputation among them is worth all this.
May pay off eventually.
Yeah.
It-
couldn't hurt.
It genuinely might. It's one of those things that very difficult to buy with gold. Especially here, it seems.
You you buy it with silver.
Well, if that's what we all.
Of course, we'll see you at some point.
And he'll start sort of talking to the Order of Tia and orchestrating the re-evacuation.
Yeah, we did save a few people.
We saved a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a good story. Maybe I'll turn it into a verse.
You should.
I think so.
It doesn't buy me any vellum or ink, though.
Well, you can always trade on a good story. Good stories go far. And by the time I've added a few little flourishes, we can make sure that D gets his day in the sun.
We might also be able to get easier access up the level if they found out we did good things here.
Yeah.
That's the spirit.
That's true. Very heroic.
What are your values that you need again to get up there?
Honesty, charity, hope, moderation, tolerance. Does that mean you?
Mm-hmm.
Something about patience and joy.
Oh dear.
Patience and
Joy,
joy.
pacifism, and courage and shit.
I
Hey,
mean,
you
I think
didn't
you're
hurt
pretty
anyone.
courageous today.
Yeah, that's true.
We were pacifists.
I did teach
We
some
did
people.
not fight.
That's
Kindness.
honestly surprising. Oh.
And
Yeah.
what about you?
Meditation, fasting, physical cleanse. Don't look at me like that.
I was just trying to understand if your need to get a reward was going to hinder us in our next steps.
No,
That's all.
it's fine.
Okay.
I don't need a reward. I just want one. I think I deserve one. So
Yeah,
do you.
that's where I was coming
Don't
from.
sell yourself short. We earned this.
Didn't say, they didn't have to pay,
Charity.
but it was worth a
In
try.
what-
I'm not saying we wouldn't have saved them without a reward.
Yeah, we
but
did. We did.
We did this.
We have.
We did exactly. We did.
Are they not gonna need all the money that they can get to rebuild?
Oh, they
Yeah.
can spare a little bit. Like, what's this place is? There's no conflict here. It's all doesn't need
Just
the money.
ruins. Yeah, it's fine.
Well, they can't.
He does. I see the point, yes. I wouldn't say no to a reward, but I wouldn't look for one.
Exactly.
My question is that they keep building the same fucking place. Why?
Yeah, just move out a little bit, or just make
500 meters.
some big wide roads, and just say, don't build on these roads.
Yeah. Or only build on these ones.
You
Yeah.
have got a point there.
Well,
Maybe we're doing them a favour by encouraging them not to rebuild in this spot.
Or maybe the new treaty, the new march, is determined based on where the city is, because they are looking for stuff, are they not?
Maybe it follows the city.
I don't know. I
But it
don't
did seem
really
to-
understand these modrons.
It did follow a specific set of lines, didn't it?
Mhm.
It did.
And these were raised before. Like,
Determined
they were.
thousands of
You
years
saw
ago.
the documentation that indicated that at the time that was the route that they would
Yeah.
be taking. This is
It's true.
pre-agreed
so it is known that that's
arrangement.
It is known.
To be honest,
It is known.
I don't really care. We're not going to be here by the time they come back. We'll be long dead.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, and 1,000 years is a long time to have something
yeah.
hanging around. So
A lot of cities don't get that amount of time.
exactly.
Let's go have some food. I'm sure those
Yes, please.
philosophers have some
Let's
snacks.
see if we can find anything in this ruined city.
It's only partially ruined. I say as I look at the.
And there is a lot of buildings that have been destroyed.
The entire middle is flat, but there's some nice buildings around the edge.
Yeah.
There were a couple of standing in the middle.
Yeah.
Um, and you head yourselves back into the city.
Yeah.
And it is dead. There is nobody here. It is a huge ruin of a city. There are buildings that are untouched, unscathed. These are some of the oldest buildings in the city. And you make your way through all of the districts and eventually come across the old Philosopher's Inn, where you're greeted by the elderly gentleman and the two young kids that you saved.
Howdy.
Friends. I never did get your names.
Bless you, sir.
I saw the dust in the air.
Do you want all of their names?
Yeah, just whoever I'm talking to.
Personiphus,
The philosopher.
the philosopher.
Wow.
Personiphus. Good name.
Wait, the one from the thing or the one we saved?
One from the old philosophers.
Oh, okay, no.
Do you want the kids' names?
That's fine. I don't want to put you on the spot.
Joy and Hope.
Nice.
Amazing. Well, there we go. I found hope for my path of ascension.
And
Hey.
Philippe's found joy.
There we go.
Hey, that's
Perfect. We just keep them with us and take them up the mountain.
Let's be very
Very
literal
literal.
about it.
Is there
We learned
any
something
kids
on
called
Roger.
meditation?
Patience.
Yeah.
Fasting.
Fasting. No?
Patience is actually a
Inner
name
peace.
that they used to have.
Inner peace.
Do you have anything that we can eat?
You know
We're a
what?
bit hungry.
Yes, certainly. We didn't need to remove anything. Probably one of the most well-stocked places around here.
If you've got something to spare, we could all do with a meal.
For our heroes of our tavern, excellence. I will prepare a feast in your names.
Ah,
Oh,
I
that's
will
very
assist you.
generous.
You will assist? Oh, that is very gracious of you.
I think I'm gonna sit out and meditate. I'll be in my room.
Oh.
I'm just gonna go upstairs to one of the rooms and just stare at the walls.
really
You'll
hard.
hear me.
Angry.
Really hard.
You'll hear me like sobbing. just gentle sobbing coming from inside the room.
It's so boring.
Yeah.
So, what is everyone
Wonder
doing
what
in the
people
tavern?
stand
Obviously, Spike is helping the elderly gentleman prepare a feast, and you hear faint sobbing coming from upstairs.
It's not fair.
Once we have some food, I'll try to take him some bread and water.
Oh, gruel.
That's what you do, isn't it?
Fasting, yeah.
Yeah, fasting.
Yeah.
Just helping.
No
mate.
bread, then.
Just helping.
Do you partake in the feast once it's prepared? When you bring up bread and water? Or do you take the bread and water?
I'm literally like a hunch of meat in my mouth. When bread, water, hunch of meat. Brought them for your
Oh,
fasting.
and the meat is absolutely exquisite. All of the animals are not farm, they're free range organic. The meat is beautiful and tender.
There's a
and
little like
delicious.
wisp of heat coming out of like
you see
steam.
the steam coming up. Juices. as you- it
Down
just
your
goes
beard.
Welching
Grease
and it
all
comes
over
down
the
your
chin.
beard.
You mucky pup.
And you mop it up with this like very sort of cheesy bread.
Oh,
Oh shit, I'm
But your
really
bread
hungry
is
now.
not cheesy.
tiger loaf with
Your
the
bread
pack.
is
So-
sourdough
Yeah.
at most.
So what do I?
Spelt.
If I have bread and water, that would
That would count as fasting.
Yeah.
You
Like
have
a
that would still
broth.
count as my fast.
it would count as a fast because you are not partaking in a feast.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
I mean, you have to eat in order to live, and you have to drink in order to live.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're not indulging in unnecessary delicacies is
Just to
literally
sustain
fasting. I
your
mean,
body.
as if we go through sort of like Islamic fasting, it literally is
it's like a timed thing.
a timed thing,
Yeah.
and they tend to not do over exorbitant
Yeah.
things.
Isn't there like, this is gonna just show my ignorance, but isn't there like a Jewish thing where you can't have fish on certain days
It's
or
a
something?
Catholic
On
as
a
well.
Friday, isn't it?
Oh, is
it?
it?
Friday?
Oh,
Oh, I
okay.
don't know. Actually, it might
Yeah.
be
It's
Christianity.
coming up to it's coming up
I
to
don't know.
Easter.
I don't
No,
know.
red meat.
All the weeks coming up to Easter. Lent.
Please
and
don't
then
at
it's
me.
usually-
Actually,
that's
please
right.
at me and educate me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No, on Good Friday you're supposed to eat fish,
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
other meat.
Not red meats.
Yeah.
Good Friday is when you like consume everything because the next 40 weeks you don't eat meat or
you just
Pancake
eat the
day.
basics.
But
Yeah.
but the funny thing was that
40
we get
weeks.
into
40 weeks.
Christianity now, but someone
Yeah, that's
commented
Lent.
that
Isn't it?
yeah,
That's
it is.
most of the year.
Days.
Oh, 40 days.
40 days.
40 days.
40 weeks?
40
Yeah,
weeks.
that's true. That's a
Whoa,
lot.
that's tough.
But is that okay if you then eat lobster?
Mm.
It's not a fish.
No, lobster's not kosher.
I'm just saying, like the idea is that you don't eat meat, right?
Oh, right.
Because
Yeah,
meat
yeah,
was
yeah.
a valuable thing, and fish was cheap.
Mm,
But But if you eat
lobster's
lobster,
valuable.
it's still a very
Exorbitant.
exorbitant thing.
Mhm.
Lobster used to be trash food.
Exactly.
Lobster was like dock worker food.
Exactly. But
It's
now,
like, it's like eels and
Yeah,
like
cockles and shit.
Yeah.
what was that thing called?
Jelly beans.
The fish's eggs.
Oh,
Caviar.
Yeah, caviar.
Yeah.
Caviar used to be shit as well,
Mhm.
and then someone decided.
It's a Valkyrie thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on that note,
Supply
I
and
will
demand.
take the bread and water.
And you will not partake in the feast.
I'm gonna put the bread and water to the side, and I'm not gonna eat it or drink it. I am going to try and go as hardcore into this as possible.
Wow.
Okay.
Boom.
You decided to go balls to the walls.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that's how I do everything.
I'm not practicing fasting, I'm practicing moderation. So I will partake in the feast, but just very small amounts, just little taste of things.
Not gonna eat yourself until you're so
No.
full you can't even.
I'm going to
leave the
show
chair.
my gratitude for the feast that they've laid on by just a little sample of a tasting menu.
Moderation is not part of mine, so I can eat as much as I want.
You go for
But
it.
I will share mine with other people to be generous.
I don't know if that counts if you're forcing it.
Today,
You literally just said you were doing it.
I mean,
No, I'm
No.
practicing moderation. I'm deliberately being, let's not go mad.
So me
We
being
could take
forcefully
some.
generous isn't okay. So being
doesn't-
forcefully moderate
It
is
doesn't
okay.
hit the same. I'm being generous because I want to ascend.
No, because I want to tick a box.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, whatever.
I guess.
Right.
Sure.
Intent versus impact. isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Did you say you're going to do some meditation as well?
Yeah,
if
meditation.
it gets the job done.
Yeah.
Most importantly, I'm going to do a long rest. Whatever happens,
Let it be
I'm
known.
getting a fucking long rest out of this. 'Cause I want to level up.
Oh no, you have to take special time to level up.
Yeah.
That's part of
It's
the
a
But in
meditation.
a,
time.
but in like a safe space, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's
You have
not
to do something specific.
passive to your long rest. You have to actively
Oh, I have to
do a downtime action.
Oh, okay.
Like I did some training with the cups, and
Ah.
Philippe did some
Yeah.
teaching, and
Well,
I
I'm
can't
going to
remember.
meditate on the concept of creation and nothing, and the moving from one to another.
I'm sure there's a book here about it.
Yeah.
Hey, the library didn't get this word.
It's not library. This is literally
Unless
philosophy.
anything happens
Oh, yeah.
in the feast,
Mhm.
at some point afterwards, I will I will visit this one.
Meditationing,
Yes.
bard. Yeah. You visit?
Oh,
You're interrupting his meditation.
yes.
I think, yeah, I would probably just be like sitting there staring at like an empty cup and a full cup. And just be like,
Turn into wine. Turn into wine.
there is something. And just like,
That's clever.
Oh, and you hear a knock on
because I'm going to
the
be at College of Creation Bard.
you hear a knock on the door.
You may enter. The enlightened one will see you now.
So that humility is not.
3 steps back.
Yeah.
Thank
Hey,
you,
I don't
my-
have humility on this. That's right.
Thank you, my lord. I say as I enter.
How do you do this? This is ridiculous.
I brought my calligraphy kit with me. You any good at painting?
Yeah, excellent actually.
Show me,
I will, and I'll paint.
Okay.
and I will write
Um,
calligraphy.
You don't have proficiency in painting tools.
Yeah, he doesn't know that.
So it's
so
just a
abstract.
straight. It's just a straight D20.
Alright.
See how well you do.
It does have disguise.
I know, but it is a separate
Separate
proficiency specific.
15.
15.
Not bad.
And I'm gonna gussy that up by trying to describe it as being it's an abstract piece and it means this and it means that. So
Okay.
can I add a deception to that and see?
Well, what is it that you are trying to specifically draw? What is your
I'm trying to draw the
objective?
concept. I'm trying to like an abstract conceptual piece about creation ex nihilo, like the creation of something from nothing.
Oh.
Wow.
In a very abstract manner.
Yeah,
Okay.
through like symbols and shapes and volumes and
But it actually just looks like a cat.
yeah. I made a cat.
But it looks like a cow, but it's supposed to be a cat.
I'm not so good
Okay.
at the faces.
Well, the actual piece is quite a moderate copy. It's not a masterpiece. It's not an exquisite piece of art, but it is quite decent for somebody that has never engaged in painting.
So, should I just sign the bottom? To, Spike, is it?
In the meantime, I would have written a fairly simplistic piece, and it's the word. It's the phrase "you're thinking too much." And as you reveal this, I will reveal mine.
I've got an idea. Let's try again. I'll get another one. And I'll close my eyes and I'll do a kind of like automatic writing, kind of, or automatic painting.
Yeah. Kind of like the guy from Heroes, the prophetic one.
Oh yeah.
Anyone's ever watched that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll do basically the same thing, not the same picture, but the same concept. And try to just make it as, I'm not thinking at all, I'm just letting the paintbrush move as it moves.
Roll a d20 with advantage.
With your eyes closed.
19.
Nice.
The piece of work that you create is more natural to exemplify the sort of concept that you are putting into this thing. And as you were going specifically for an abstract way, the lines and the way that you work it allow you to convey that inner feeling better. And it is a relatively profound piece of work.
I think a bit of an improvement.
Do you think so?
I guess. I mean, I kind of feel it a bit more. Do you?
Why are you asking me? It's not like this.
I suppose so.
And as you look at it yourself and you sort of compare it to what you had created before, you definitely feel more of a inner resonance with this second piece of art than with the first. Like you feel more connected to it. The first one, this was a piece of work that you were asked to create. But this second one, you feel like you should, like this is what you should have created. Just as a part of your life, you feel this is a piece of work that you needed to do at some point. And you didn't even realize it.
Well then, yeah. I'm going to say that it is good.
Meditation is about doing something that you do not think about. You sit there and time will pass. What were you doing? Spike shrugs. That's for you to decide.
No, up until now, I've always thought you to be a bit strict, a bit of a stickler, a bit boring,
I am all
a
those
bit
things, yeah.
rigid, a bit. But the point is, I can see that you actually have, and don't say this to others, a little bit of wisdom under your belt. How'd you learn all this?
I wouldn't know. It simply is a part of me. Much like your way of creation, much like your way of doing things that I find horrendously disagreeable, and yet I carry on tolerating it because it's useful.
Oh, you love it. Where would you
My
put that?
wisdom and yours suits different people.
How does Link feel about this conversation? Do you feel that it has been productive to you as an individual?
Yeah, The insights that Spike has offered is definitely like the don't overthink it. Has absolutely been useful. I think my picture has, when your picture has borne that out. Yeah, I think it is something that I'm going to take forward
Okay.
as a moderating, maybe not my guiding philosophy, but at least a moderating influence. Although, maybe it will be.
Spike, even though you were helping Link portrayed, in the way of speaking, almost sort of like a backhanded, snarky way of saying thank you.
No.
How do you feel about the way that he's reacted to this?
I would think I would feel more than I would. It's more than I expected, because his perception of Link is of Link as he is. A man capable of many things, and some of them not the things that Spike is capable of. And this kind of like ability to pause and reflect is, he came up here because he was driven by curiosity to see, like, he's not gonna know how to do this, so I'm just gonna come in and just push him along and see how that works. And this is more than he ever expected.
Do you feel like Spike would be willing to continue helping Link realize himself?
I think he would. Not just, but like motivated largely by the curiosity that this has spiked. Like, wow, he can do this. Let's see what else he can do. That kind of thought.
Okay, and as the sky does not change because it is in permanent twilight, all of you notice a blue pulse permeate across the plane, like a woomph. You notice this once, maybe twice during your time here. Spike, you feel you are ready. You have bettered yourself through the acts that you have performed here. You have a permanent +1 to your strength.
Oh fuck!
Hey!
What? Amazing.
And you have an inner feeling in your mind, and I believe you dedicate yourself to Moradin.
Moradin.
You feel a warmth run through you, and a small clink of a hammer just rings in the back of your mind, and you feel like if you were to ascend the mountain, you would be allowed past the mists. And I'm going to end the session there.
Nice.
Wow.
Ooh. I don't have a pencil.
So,
Yes, this.
thank you all for visiting us at the Hodgepodge Tavern. We hope that you've enjoyed yourself today. Unfortunately, we will not be here next week, but we are hoping to return to our regularly scheduled every Tuesday from the following week afterwards. Please do check out our backlog on YouTube just to catch up if this is one of your first time showing up. And we hope to see you in 2 weeks' time. We will be doing the quick experience rundown, so if you would like to stick around for that, I will be opening up a poll so that you can vote for who you felt was the player of the session, and they will gain an extra experience point. Other than that, I will have the players vote according to my criteria to see if anyone gets any bonus experience, and from there we shall see you if you don't come up. So thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye. thank you and welcome back. So we will run through our experience rundown. So first of all, I will distribute experience based off of the encounters that you've had. So everyone, as a result of minimalizing the extent of the mod run damage, everyone will receive 150 experience points.
Nice.
Broke the 4 digits.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Okay. From there, I will also be awarding experience to Kyle for ascending to
Yes.
a higher sense of yourself. I will be handing you an additional 50 experience points.
Muchas gracias.
Yoink.
And with that, I will head us into our experience rundown. So, opening up the table, who do you feel had the most creative use of a spell or ability during the session?
I think these two with their pretending to be the saint, it was pretty good. That was pretty amazing.
That was pretty good.
Okay.
I did like that.
That
I
was
know
pretty
I was
cool.
part of it, but I did like it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to
D
you.
was doing that.
D
as well,
was
actually.
involved as
D
well,
used that
though.
as well.
True.
So these three, yeah.
Can we
I
share?
think that was pretty amazing.
For the three of you, normally there would be 60, but splitting it between three, I'll give you all 20. Split it evenly out of there.
Nice.
That's cool.
Okay. Second of all, we have our heroic, selfless, or furthering the party goal blip. Who do you feel best exemplified that?
Heroic and selfless would be Sprite
Yeah, Sprite going into
I
the
feel.
getting
Sprite
it going
going
into
into
the
the
building.
Same.
Definitely.
And then holding the last old man
Holding
as you
the-
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seaweed
almost fell.
himself.
that was very heroic and selfless.
I
That
would
was
for
awesome.
that.
Oh,
It wasn't really furthering the party goal, but I think
no.
it was just so worth it.
oh.
Excellent. I mean, that's why there's a couple of elements to it. So that will be 60 bonus experience.
Thank you.
And finally, we have our intangibles. Anything that you feel is worth recognition that doesn't fall into those previously disciplined categories.
I really liked the coming up with the plan for the horses
Yeah.
and the good cop, bad cop
Yeah.
thing.
That was
really
good.
Like, I thought that was genius, to be
Always got
honest.
to see some broken legs.
It just as a role play, it was amazing.
It was fun.
I also would like to nominate Philippe for coming up with that 3-step plan, 3-letter
Yes.
plan.
Yeah, that was.
Without which we
really
wouldn't have had a
useful.
clue
Exactly, like
Yeah.
what we were doing.
that was totally
If we go why people saved.
If you're going by the body count.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the reverse body count.
I am going to weigh in, and I'm also going to go along those lines, writing up that plan, sending it across,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. I definitely feel that Philippe is worthy of that.
Oh.
So
Thank you.
that is an extra 60 experience points
Cool.
to D.
No.
So looking
Thank you very
through,
much.
we do
Sorry,
have a vote
Didn't mean to
for
take away from
Josh because the poll is not working for some
Hey.
reason.
Yeah.
Is that Mel?
Yeah.
That
Josh
was
definitely
indeed
needs
Mel.
to catch up.
I did really catch up.
Yeah.
So the only valid, I'm afraid, Kyle, but you did get extra for other things.
Spike is
We
being
did.
robbed.
Again.
Hashtag justice for Spike.
Justice for Spike.
Hashtag #SusSpike was also written in there.
Yeah.
I will be distributing that to Josh. So
Thank
that is
you.
an extra 60 experience points for you as well. So, on that note, thank you very much for joining us. Again, as I said, we will not be here next Tuesday, so that will be the date of the 14th. However, we will resume our regular scheduling every week, assuming there's no extenuating circumstances, from the 21st. So we will see you then, and please do follow us on Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram, and check out our website, which I hope is still working.
Yeah, I think so.
Hodgepodge Heroes.
Hodgepodge Heroes!
I know.
Bye!
Bye, guys.